I don't know if our church is of God or not. Yes, they cured my son's lifetime mental illness, but I can't still believe in the church. The way they do their things is very unique. We will be naked during services. They don't preach or pray. It's only singing throughout. The services are done at midnight. After service, you will be given money, a lot of money. They say if one chooses to stop attending their services, he or she must give them everything he or she took from the church. If he was cured, the illness will return. We are just remaining at the church because we are afraid that our child might start mental illness again. This is one of the most shocking things they do at the church. There will be a priest at the Yellow Viewers. Welcome once again to another episode of African Confessions HD, right here on Extraordinary Africa. My name is Solution Uncle. If you're still new in this show, we publish a lifetime confessions. Usually, we publish anonymously for their own safety reasons. Listeners, if you do have a story you want to share with the world, you are feeling you need advices, don't commit suicide. Come here, share your story with us. It's for free here. Don't be shy, don't be afraid. We do it for free here. Our WhatsApp number is +263 775 597 775. +263 775 597 775. Or you can contact our PR Fidel at his Gmail account, fidelgoch@gmail.com, FIDEL Goch GOCH@gmail.com, and tell us anytime we'll be ready to publish your story. We'll publish anonymously, so don't be afraid. If you do have a story and you feel you want to share with the world, here is the free platform for you. Listeners, I don't want to continue waste much of your time. Let's go straight into the confession. My cousins, I need your advice on this church. I am going with my husband. A friend introduced us to the church. Our child has been suffering from mental illness for a long time. We tried everything. Most sangomas and prophets said our child was being affected by the spirit of a man who was killed by my husband's grandfather. My husband's grandfather was a businessman. It is allegedly said that the business was no longer doing well, and he went to this country to make a ritual. And in the ritual, there was a human blood and human parts needed in the ritual. So he killed someone back then, and this business started flowing. He managed to be successful in many things. The business even expanded to many towns and cities. We grew up knowing the family, a very well-known and rich family, because the grandfather was very rich. There has been a spirit of this person who was killed. It was dwelling in one person after the other. And when we gave birth to our child, there was this uncle of my husband. He was mentally ill, but as soon as we gave birth to this child, that uncle was okay. It then means it might be someone went for cleansing, and the spirit was showed the next destination to dwell. That was our newly born child. He grew up, and when he was around 6 years, he wasn't able to talk. 8 years, he wasn't able to talk. He started talking at 8. You could see that there is something wrong with this child of us. The child is our only child. So all these years we have been staying in Pretoria. My husband was transferred at work. we have to move to Johannesburg. My husband told a workmate about what was happening to our one and only child. This was to give an excuse. Sometimes he might be busy and not be able to come for work because the illness was serious. He could start damaging neighbors' properties. We have been always tiring him with roads. He was a violent person. The workmate introduced us to his night church. They are at the center of the city. We went with the child at around 11 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, we were at the church. At that church, you leave your clothes at the door. Everyone in the house will be naked. They don't preach or pray, but only praising songs. But you won't hear when they say God. Most of the songs support that you was born naked, so you have to be naked. As soon as we entered, our son stopped fidgeting like he was doing, because he's been a person who has been always fidgeting since when he was born. It wasn't well. He could always fidgeting, sweating, and it was hurting seeing your one and only child doing that. So we sacrificed to go to that church, even though we haven't known before that it wasn't that godly. But the fact that the child was acting normal in the church, it made me feel comfortable. We started singing just like others. The language is not any of the African languages. Maybe it's like Polish. I don't know the type of language. But as soon as I'll be in church, I'll be able to sing and dance to that. Soon after church, we were given money, a lot of money, which can even buy a car. We went back home. The child was good. We started enrolling for him at school. He went to school. He was acting normal, very intelligent. And every Sunday at midnight, we should go to this church. We went to church. We are going to church. But since when we started going to that church, our behaviors have changed. My husband is now into as men as girlfriends. I am tired of complaining, so I ended up having also boyfriends. It's now becoming normal in our house, but I know it's not normal because before we went to the church, we were good people. We loved each other. No one cheated on the other. But everything changed when we started going to that church, seeing different types of people. That church is just unique. Yes, they gave us money. My husband quitted the job. We built mansions and houses, cars. We now have our own businesses from the money. But they are saying, when you want to leave church, you should give us everything you take here times 4. So there's no way we could leave. But I just want to know, is it normal that is that a church where you go and you are supposed to be naked in services? We never praised Satan a single day. We never praised God a single day. The praise songs don't mention God. It's something which is affecting me. How can it be called a church without a single minute where there is someone talking about God? Yes, there is no turning back because we can't afford the items times 4. We can't afford to see our child sick again. He is doing well at school, our one and only child. Even the spirit is no longer there. But as soon as my child was healed, the spirit moved to another relative of us who is in the village. They are blaming us for bewitching that relative. But that's not the issue which made me to come and confess. I want to know more about this church. Did you ever hear about that church? What's surprising me is that they give a lot of money, but it's not gaining that popularity. We are a small crowd. How can people fail to tell their relatives about this church? This is what's happening to me, and this is what happened. What should I do? Is this church a good church or not? I need your advices, because what we are doing now is affecting me. We might end up having sexual transmitted diseases. I'm not used to it. I really loved my husband before starting going to this church. I don't know what is over me. This is a ritual I did for my business to grow. I was a taxi driver when I was in Johannesburg. In Johannesburg, I have to go to this Sangoma so that I can boost my business. It wasn't working at all. I was always having challenges. My car was always at breakdown almost every day. And this is the thing which was affecting me. What made me to buy the car is that I won at soccer betting and managed to buy this car. Yes, it was costing me. I ended up selling the house I inherited from my parents. This thing affected me because I was dwelling in the car. Almost every day I could be in the car. My sister started complaining because she don't have anywhere to go after I sold the house. We have arguments each and every day. Hey, don't you see that I'm trying to bring food on your table? So I went to Namibia to do a ritual so that I can boost the business and be able to buy new house or a place to stay, because my sister was always complaining about what I did. I did it when she wasn't in the country. She was out of the country where she was completing her studies. I also wanted to pay the fees since Dad passed away when he was on final year. So I needed to finish education. But I didn't know he wasn't going at school. He was playing there. Then came back to South Africa. She is complaining. So I went to Namibia. I don't wanted that argument. I wanted peace. So in Namibia, the Sangoma gave me a knife and a door and said, you have to point at this door. That was the first stage of the ritual. I pointed at the door and snatched it with the knife. Then I started burning the door. It was mixed with muti. When the ritual was done, I moved back to South Africa. I saw my sister. She was now mentally ill. From that day, people started coming to my taxi like something else. I managed to buy another taxi. Now I have 8 taxis. This is what I only have. If I buy a house, it might caught fire or something might happen which will lead me to sell the house. But the main purpose when I went to do the ritual was so that I can be able to build a house for me and my sister to dwell. It's now affecting me because the person I wanted to dwell in the house is the one who is now mentally ill. The Sangoma tricked me. I tried going back to the place and told Sangoma no longer lives there. He wasn't from Namibia. He was from Malawi. This thing is affecting me. I don't know what to do. I went to men Sangomas. They are saying you are playing with fire. The ritual you did is not good at all. As long as my sister lose her life, I myself I will be losing life. Yet she will be always at risk areas, at public areas during nights. Sometimes she could be at rivers. She is mentally ill. You know people who are mentally ill, what they do. If there is somewhere I can go and get delivered, I am ready. I don't want to continue this. Please, my fellow cousins, forgive me for what I did. Don't insult me when you comment. But that's what's affecting me.